And that's one thing I actually wanted to get into with how you grew so quickly on social media. So sounds like what you were doing was, putting a personality out there. Like you said, you kind of just answered it. So to recap, you said put yourself out there personality wise. You mentioned it briefly. You said you use angles to try and like specifically have the sandwich in the front of the camera. Like
Yeah.
go into a little bit, like, because I could tell you're being specific on that. Like I know like there's some little hacks you were
It's a
doing that
key
was
gem. That's what,
yeah.
visually.
Yeah. So like if you're doing a picture or whatever, it has to be like our people are just gonna scroll through it. Like, you know what I mean? Especially food. There's so many bloggers and so many things out there that take great, captivating pictures. Like I just had to make sure that I separated myself from everybody else. And the way I thought I could do that is not only have the food there, but have me in the background, like there, so people are seeing that it's me that's part of this brand, and having some type of like clothing apparel with my logo on it or whatever. And then another important thing was the captions. You got to just put like some type of catchy caption. Like if you're going to try and go all out with the elaborate food and all that, I think you have to have a caption to follow it to just complete the whole thing. So 3-step process.
Smart. That's a big gem. Like, don't sleep on that. A lot of people will just like bypass that. If you're a restaurant, that's a big gem for you to grow your company during COVID. Because right now, everybody's on their phone. Everybody.
It's a visual business.
Yeah, and it's the crazy thing about it is social. It's free. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's one of the things. Like I never really used social media before and stuff like that. I didn't have my own business. I didn't really feel I needed it for that. But like, as I'm trying to grow my business, like I can tell when a big blogger posts like one of my food items, because my traction and traffic goes up and things like that. Like it actually works. And a lot of people don't know that it's a free tool that you guys can use like to grow your business and how important it is.
For sure. Let's stay here for a quick little second. Is there any like apps that you use? Anything that's really been helping you out? Any like analytics that you've been using to really help you like analyze and see what's working, what's not? Like let's dive a little bit deeper.
To be honest, I've never really used I use through Instagram. You can, like, my page is obviously a business page.
Mm-hmm.
You can follow like that, but I know when I post something, like I basically have two menus, and I know if I post something, like I use Google and stuff like that, but I know if I post something and I have people calling and asking for that one product and it's not on my regular menu, I know. That's how I kind of gauge like my stories. Like if I have a post or a story that gets a lot of traction, I kind of know, okay, this day might be a little busier than the next day. I know if a large blog posts something or whatever, like I know it's going to be a busier weekend or things like that. So I kind of just follow like that. I don't really use the number cues and stuff like that. And I know a lot of people do, and I know a lot of them are super successful and help them out, but I'm more just kind of go with the flow of the day or the post or whatever it is.
No, that's big. I like what you said about using like a secret menu almost, right? Like so essentially you'll just post, and if someone hits you up to buy it, then you know that post works. And so, and are you kind of like testing that out for your real menu? Is that kind of like how you're kind of running that?
So basically we have a menu on if you go to their website, we have a menu, and then if you walk in the store, there's another menu. So what happens is people come in the store and they're like, is this the only menu? And then we say, no, there's another one. And we send them to the web page. And then there's another menu that they can choose off of. On Uber, there's a secret menu item. And people obviously want to know what the secret menu item is. So we send them to the Instagram page to find out what the secret menu item is. And then through that, they can see all our other stuff and things like that.
Genius.
Awesome.
Big gem. Don't sleep on that one.
That's strategy.
Strategy.
This should be like business school strategy for restaurateurs, man.
Word. All right. So let's jump into it now. Back into your story. So you have the successful pop up, and you're starting and you go back from pop up to catering.
Yeah. So it was still just catering, and one thing about catering is it varies by season. So it just so happened that at that point, after the pop-up, I was hitting the winter months. So you know, there's a couple Christmas parties here and there. If you're not a big company, you're not going to get a lot of bookings so fast. So anyone who's worked in the restaurant industry knows that after Christmas, from January, February to March, are basically the 3 slowest months in the industry. It's cold. It's people don't have a lot of money because Christmas and things like that. So the next 3 months for me were pretty rough. Like after that, and that's kind of when I was like questioning myself, like, you know what, is this kind of worth it? Like I was on such a high from the pop-up to go to such a low right after was really tough. And then luckily we bounced into the summer events and things like that, and we were able to do a lot of summer festivals starting in like May, June, July. And for a lot of businesses, that's like a very lucrative part of the year. A lot of them rely on summer, like patios are open, there's tons of festivals, you can do food trucks, you can do a lot of things in the summer that you can't do in the winter. So luckily it wasn't that long of a time where I was able to get into some summer stuff and kind of like get back that love and excitement that I kind of lost during the winter months.
I hear you. Awesome, man. So what's like the usual profit margins like with, you know, running a business? Is it like 3 times, 2 times? Like what's kind of like the business behind running a restaurant? Let's get into that.
They're very slim. Like now, especially now, like a lot of people think that when you open your doors, like, you know, even if you're busy, like a lot of people think, oh my God, this place must be raking in the money. It's so great. It's so like, you know, they're laughing, but at the end of the day, you have rent, you have employees, you have food, you have all these other little things that pop up like that you don't think when you're opening a restaurant: phone bill, water, electricity, internet, you know, insurance. Like insurance was a big one for me because I was like, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. You have to pay insurance, and insurance is expensive. You know what I mean? So these are little things like, and
thank you for watching that video. To see the next video, click right over here. And to subscribe, click right over here. Peace.